Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Saturday, July 19th, 2025. We are doing FTH 202 Week 2 assignment, and that is going to be a 4-part deal where we demonstrate the proper method of removing the side plate, and then we're going to do with the side plate removed, showing the components, how they're resting within the firearm, point out some of those major components. And then we're going to go on to remove additional components assemblies until only the hammer, hand, transfer bar, trigger, and cylinder lock remain. And then we will go forward to remove all of the components and show the stripped frame. So what I'm going to go do is pause this video right here. We're going to flip the camera around and get set up to do the next portion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do right here is I have my punch, I have my hammer, and I have my screwdrivers for removing the side plates. What I'm going to do is go ahead and put this in here right here like so, and I'm going to knock out that pin. Okay, and got the pin out, and that is it right here. Now we will go ahead and remove the grip. Grip is just a rubber outside with a plastic molded, injection molded inside. And do be aware that this screw and this screw are not holding a spring back. This one is. It has a spring with a detent pin underneath of it. When you take that out, that is what engages the cylinder stop plunger that is attached to the yoke of the cylinder itself. That holds the yoke and the cylinder in place and keeps them from just falling out of the front of the firearm when the cylinder is open. So be aware of that you're going to need to have positive control of that particular spring so as to not launch it across the room and end up having to crawl across your floor later trying to find it. Alright, I'm going to take that one out first, just so that I can give you a detailed look at it, show you where it is. You can see that there is the little pin inside of it. The spring is in there as well. That is something you need to be extremely careful of not losing. So we will set it right here. It is extremely small. And we'll go ahead and take this screw out. Set it up here with the other one. And then last screw, for some reason, is unnervingly tight. Set that one to the side. Now, most people are going to be tempted to take a screwdriver and try to pry under there, or a knife or something like that. That is not the way to do it. If you take your hammer and use the wooden portion of the handle, and right here on the handle grip, give it a few good shots, you'll see that it pops right off. And you can lift that off to the side. And we'll pause the video right here and come back and start the next portion. Okay, from this point we're going to go ahead and do the next portion. If you look, this is the trigger right here. This initiates the sequence for the firing, which is part of your cycle of operations. This particular piece right here is the hand. When you pull the trigger, you will see it move upward, or you can do it also with the hammer. You notice that it moves upward, actuating the cylinder, rolling it around to to align the chamber with the barrel for the next round to be fired. You have your hammer right here. This is what follows forward, hits this piece right here that you can see, which is your transfer bar, which then in turn hits the back of the firing pin, going forward and striking the primer of the round, setting the round off, and finishing the firing sequence. So that is our portion of that video. We will pause right here and go ahead and remove the parts that need to be removed. Okay, now at this point we're going to remove some of these pieces. You will need a couple of these little pieces of paper clip really are handy in this next step, to where you go ahead and cock that hammer back, and if you notice there's a small hole right there underneath of that. If you take your paper clip with the hammer back like so, I can get it rolled around here, and you insert that into that hole right there. You can now release the hammer and it will slide down, and that will allow you to take out the hammer spring and the bar that is connected to that. We'll set that right there. And we can also go ahead and open this up, and we will remove the cylinder and that plunger spring that I was telling you about right there by my finger. There's a pin with a spring underneath of it. That thing is under tension when inside the firearm. Now you can see that that is removed. And we will go ahead and try to get this next little piece out. You have to push rearward on the thumbs piece there to get it to go back. It's hard to find that little hole in that thing, but it is there. There it is. Now we will take this and place that thing right there in that hole. Alright. Now we're going to release that and let the hammer come down. And in turn takes the tension off of that bar. Allows us to swing it free. It may take a little coaxing to get it out, from what I'm understanding. There we go. Now that one is out. Lay that to the side. Let's see, we are to hammer, the hand, the transfer bar. Yep, okay, those are all still the pieces that are left in there. You have your hammer, your hand, your transfer bar, your trigger, and your cylinder stop, which is right here underneath. Those are the parts that are to remain. We will go ahead and pause this video right here, and we will move to the next portion. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the stripped down frame. All the parts have been removed, leaving it with just a bare frame. So now we go back to the portion of trying to put everything back in together and get it in the right order. So thank you for tuning in. We will see you guys next time, and that is FTH 202 Week 2 Assignment